Now we're going to proceed into installing the ECM-C that's provided with your project. What you'll first need is your banding that comes with your box, your expediter, and your RTD. What I like to do is use a band to puncture the grommet inside of your expediter kit. You'll hear a pop, and this is where your heat trace is going to penetrate. So with the hole you just punctured in your grommet, go ahead and slide your cable in. Actually, what I'm going to do is use the lube on this one. Once you punctured it, you can use a lubricant that's provided with your kit. It'll be labeled cable lubricant. And this will help you slide your cable into your expediter. Apply it to your heat tracing. Go ahead and enter your cable to the expediter. With your ECMs, you will also need to penetrate your RTD. So you'll need to penetrate your RTD. Make sure you pop the grommet where your RTD will slide. Remove the zip ties that come with your RTD to uncoil it. And pull your RTD through. Your kit comes with a spacer for your banding. And what this does, it ensures a proper path for your band and makes sure it does not damage any equipment inside the expediter. You will hear it click into place, and you're set. Place the band through your expediter and wrap around the pipe. Please make sure not to go over your heat tracing. You need to go underneath to avoid any damage. Tighten your banding with a nut driver or screwdriver in the proper position that you want your power box mounted. Now we'll proceed to do your termination kit. What you're going to do, approximately 2 inches from the base, begin to strip your outer jacket. Once you have it stripped, you slide your braid down to loosen it up. Separate a portion to where you can slide the cable out of the braid. Now you have a separated braid and your conductor. Twist your braid to make sure it's nice, tight, and compact. Now from the bottom of your braid, you're going to leave another inch of your matrix, and that is where you're going to begin stripping your conductor. Make sure you start stripping at the same height for both. Separate your conductor from your matrix. And do the same to the other side. You will cut the remaining matrix off. Careful not to cut your conductors. So now we can proceed with our PTK kit. Remove the boot and the RTV that comes with your PETK kit. Make sure your conductors are straight and tight so you don't have any loose hairs or strands as you slide the pants on. Get your RTV, remove the cap, puncture it. Before you apply your RTV, Make sure that your conductors aren't crossed inside your boot because this will cause a dead short. You can tug on it to make sure you're on the right side of the pants. Once you confirm that there's not any crosses, slide the boot back a bit and start filling your boot with RTV as you slide towards your heat trace. This will slide over your matrix as such. All right, something I like to do to help make sure the boot doesn't get moved is apply a little heat tracing tape, just to make sure it doesn't slide off since the RTV is still fresh. I wrap around the heat trace, work my way up to the boot, pick the ground up, and tape it entirely. Make sure your boot doesn't come off. Now you're ready to mount the head of your ECM. Your remaining contents in your ECM kit Ziploc bag will be a grommet and a lock ring or lock nut. You slide your grommet through your cables so you can sit it on your expediter. Prior to mounting your head, make sure your expediter and grommet have been sealed. Turning it clockwise with your pair of channel locks. Don't over tighten. When you're applying your grommet, secure it in place. And now slide the head onto your expediter. Then you can apply your lock nut. And attach it to your expediter base. So you can use a pair of channel locks or a screwdriver and tap it in to make sure your lock nut gets tight. Once you're tight, you're ready for your ECM module. You pull your ECM module out of your box. Please make sure that the label on the box and your kit matches the exact catalog number as your isometric. It'll be located on the label on the box, and it'll be labeled on the top of your electronic control module. Trim your conductors so when you terminate, you don't have a whole lot sticking out and risk any ground faults or dead shorts. Proceed to mount your ECM onto your kit. Twisting will lock it in place, or you can lock it and tightening the screws with a nut driver. Once it's secure, you're now ready to do your terminations. Prior to your terminations, you're going to have your power wire introduced to the ECM. And what you do, with a 3/4 inch hole saw, 1 inch or 1/2 inch, depending on the size cable you're going to use, you'll be drilling a hole here on this dimple. This is where your power will penetrate. There's one on the right side and the left side of your kit. And it's recommended to have your power in here before you terminate. Now we can proceed to terminate your heat tracing into your ECM module. When terminating your RTD, you'll have 3 leads. You'll have 1 white and 2 reds. Your white will be your A, and your 2 reds will be your Bs. Go ahead and put your white into your A. Tighten it down. So on and so forth with your Bs. Make sure everything is tight. And route your RTD on the side into your kit. You can pull your tension to the side of the expediter to make sure it's not in the way. Once you have your RTD terminated, now you can terminate your heat tracing. Your ECM has a label where it says heater load. That is where you'll be terminating your heat tracing. Cut the tip off your ground braid to make a flush termination. It makes it easier and make sure you get a good grasp with the terminal block. Your braid will go to your ground. As far as your heat tracing go, it does not matter which side you put on your line 1 or your line 2. Tuck in your ground so it doesn't interfere when you put on the lid. The terminals on your left side, this is where your power would essentially go. Now you're ready to put the lid on. There's a clip that attaches to the back side of your kit. Go ahead and place the lid to your kit. Make sure you do not catch any wires. Twist to lock. That completes your ECM module. Now you have to finish installing your RTD. using the provided banding. Make sure to place it on the opposite side of your heater cable. And again, make sure your band does not go over the tracing. You want to be on the opposite side of your heater cable. At a 45-degree angle. Go ahead and tighten it. Again, do not over tighten. You can tuck in your banding underneath the cable and apply heat tracing tape so that it does not come loose. Same can be done with your ECM module, which you can fold. Install such. And apply tape so that there's no loose banding. Now you just need to burn the excess lead wire on your RTD onto the pipe, which you can just secure with heat tracing tape. Now you can install the remainder of the lead on your piping. Just make sure not to overbend on your bend radius. And that concludes your ECM power kit termination.